Do you know that the color of the sun is actually purple? Okay, I'm just joking. In reality, the sun is a mix of all colors and all the light spectrums. It's like a giant rainbow in the sky, but our eyes play a trick on us. We see the sun as yellow or orange because of how our eyes and the atmosphere work together. It's a bit like how a white light can be split into all the colors of the rainbow when it passes through a prism. But what if the sun was blue? Imagine the sky and everything under it bathed in a cool blue glow. Would trees still be green? Would our mornings feel different? How would this big change affect animals, plants, and even us? Let's find out how things would be with a blue sun. Before we talk about how it might be perceived and its effects, let's take a look at some blue suns in our universe. The Rigel. Rigel is a star that's very different from our sun. It's known as a blue supergiant, which means it's much bigger and hotter than the sun. Rigel is part of the constellation Orion, which is one of the most noticeable groups of stars in the night sky. If you've ever looked up at the stars, you might have seen Orion's belt. Rigel is the bright star that seems to be Orion's left foot. This star is really far from us, about 860 light-years away. So when we say Rigel is 860 light-years away, it means the light we see from Rigel tonight left the star 860 years ago. Rigel is much bigger and more powerful than our sun. While the sun's surface temperature is about 5,500 degrees Celsius, Rigel's surface is way hotter, around 12,000 degrees Celsius. This high temperature is what gives Rigel its beautiful blue color. Very hot stars tend to look blue, while cooler stars like our sun appear more yellow or even red. The size difference between Rigel and the sun is also huge. Rigel is about 70 times the sun's diameter. If Rigel were in the center of our solar system instead of the sun, it would be so big that it would stretch out nearly all the way to Mercury. Now, if we think about what would happen if our sun was more like Rigel and turned blue, things would be very different in our solar system and on Earth. First, a blue sun would be much hotter. This could make Earth much warmer, possibly too warm for life as we know it. The extra heat and light could change how plants grow, and it might even affect the Earth's weather and climate in big ways. The blue light from our new sun would also change how things look. Sunrises and sunsets could have different colors, maybe more purples and blues instead of the reds and oranges we're used to. Life on Earth has adapted to the sun's light over millions of years. Plants, for example, use sunlight to make their food through photosynthesis, and they're tuned to use the specific kind of light the sun gives off. If the sun suddenly started giving off mostly blue light, plants and animals would have to adapt to this new kind of light, which could be a big challenge. Eta Carinae. Eta Carinae is a very special and unusual star in our universe. It's not just one star, but a system of at least 2 stars that are very big and very bright. This star system is far away from us, about 7,500 light-years away in a part of the sky called the Carinae constellation. What makes Eta Carinae stand out is its size and brightness. It's one of the most massive stars we know about. Eta Carinae is also very hot, which makes it shine with a brilliant light. Some of the light it gives off is blue. In the 1800s, it became incredibly bright for some time, becoming one of the brightest stars in the sky. This event was called the Great Eruption. Even though it has calmed down since then, Eta Carinae is still one of the most studied stars because it's so unusual and because scientists think it might explode as a supernova one day. So what would it be like if our sun was more like Eta Carinae and turned into a hot blue star? First, a star like Eta Carinae is much hotter than our sun, even hotter and bigger than Rigel. This means if our sun was like Eta Carinae, the Earth would get a lot more heat and light. This extra heat would change the Earth's climate. The oceans could start to evaporate, and the weather would become very extreme. The blue light from a sun like Eta Carinae would also change how our world looks. And just like how the sun's light affects how we see colors, a blue sun would make the colors around us look different too. Our sunlight. Our sun is a huge star in the center of our solar system. The sun's heat comes from a process called nuclear fusion. This is where the sun's core combines small particles together, creating a lot of energy and heat. Suns or stars can be very hot or a bit cooler, depending on their size and what stage they are in their life. The hottest stars can be over 30,000 degrees Celsius. These stars often look blue or white because they are so hot. Cooler stars might be less than 3,500 degrees Celsius and can appear red or orange. Our sun is somewhere in the middle. It's not the hottest or the coolest star. The temperature on its surface is about 5,500 degrees Celsius. You might think the sun is yellow, but it actually gives off light that's all colors mixed together. This makes the sun's light appear white to us when we look at it from space. But here on Earth, the atmosphere changes how we see the sun's light. When the sun is high in the sky, it looks more white, but at sunrise and sunset, it can look more yellow, orange, or red. This is because the sunlight has to pass through more of the Earth's atmosphere, which scatters the blue light and lets the reds and yellows come through to our eyes. Speaking of blue light, it scatters more than other colors in the sunlight. That's why the sky looks blue during the day. When sunlight hits the Earth's atmosphere, the shorter waves of blue light get scattered in all directions, and this scattered blue light is what we see. The colors of the sun and how we see them have a big impact on life on Earth. Plants use sunlight to make their food in a process called photosynthesis. Most plants are green because they absorb blue and red light, but reflect green light, which is not as useful to them for making food. The impact. If our sun turned blue like a star such as Eta Carinae, it would have a huge impact on everything, as said earlier. Blue stars are much hotter than stars like our sun, and with this heat comes a lot of energy and different kinds of light, including ultraviolet, UV radiation. UV radiation is a type of light that's invisible to our eyes, but can have a big effect on our bodies and the environment. On Earth, we're protected from the sun's UV radiation by our atmosphere, especially by a layer called the ozone layer. But if the sun turned blue and started giving off more UV radiation, this protective layer might not be enough. For our bodies, more UV radiation can be harmful. It can cause sunburns, skin aging, and even increase the risk of skin cancer. Our eyes can also be damaged by too much UV light, leading to conditions like cataracts, which can make your vision blurry or less clear. The environment would also be affected by the increase in UV radiation. It could harm plants, making it harder for them to grow and produce food. This would not only affect the plants themselves, but also all the animals and people that rely on plants for food. In water, too much UV radiation can harm fish and other creatures that live in oceans, rivers, and lakes. Another big change would be the effect of a blue sun's heat and light on our solar system. The planets, including Earth, have orbits that are stable because of the sun's gravity and the balance of energy in the solar system. A hotter blue sun could disrupt this balance. It might change the climates of other planets and even affect their orbits. Blue stars like Eta Carinae are also known for having short lifespans. Stars burn through their fuel, and the hotter and bigger the star, the faster it uses up this fuel. Eta Carinae, for example, is expected to explode as a supernova in the future. Supernovas are huge explosions that happen when a star runs out of fuel. If our sun turned into a blue star and burned its fuel much faster, it could also reach the end of its life much sooner than expected. This would mean a premature end for the sun and a huge change, or even the end for the solar system as we know it. What do you think about this? Do you wish to see the day our sun will turn blue? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. See you soon.